Fox 40 HD News Live at 6 starts now.
A verdict in the murder trial of the man accused of running down a state trooper. Plus reaction about the Broome DA's aggressive approach to put away drug dealers. And find out why cops were hanging out on this rooftop. Fox 40 News at 6 starts right now. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Jeremy Donovan in for Jason Weinstein. We are live at the Spiedie Fest and Balloon Rally, but tonight our top story. After 8 hours of deliberation, a jury finds Almond Upton guilty for first-degree murder in the May 2014 death of State Trooper Christopher Skinner. Molly Darrow has more from the courtroom.
Honestly, I can't be mad at anyone because no matter what I do, it's not going to bring my dad back.
Daughter Erin Skinner says she has forgiven the man who killed her father. Erin spoke exclusively with Fox 40 near her Hillcrest home shortly after the verdict. Other family members of Skinner expressed gratitude outside the Broome County courthouse.
We were pleased with the verdict, and we all miss Chris.
Skinner thanked the jury, state police, and special prosecutor Benjamin Bergman. Bergman argued against Upton's defense that he was delusional when he struck down Trooper Skinner, who was conducting a routine traffic stop.
The way he was killed unsuspectingly and he was completely innocent, just doing his job, absolutely not.
During the trial, Chief Assistant Public Defender Mike Baker argued his client, who suffers from bipolar disorder, did not know right from wrong because he was going through a manic episode at the time of Skinner's death, but said he respected the jury's decision.
If this was decided on a motion, then we wouldn't be here on Friday morning. I've got nothing but respect for the jury.
Upton faces a minimum of 20 years to life in prison. His sentencing is scheduled for November 10th. In Broome County, Molly Darrow, Fox 40 HD News.
Now to a story we've been following about Broome County prosecutors starting to treat drug overdoses as possible homicides. For that story, we turn to Fox 40's Aaron Hamm.
That's right. Broome County District Attorney Stephen Cornwell said his office will begin investigating overdose deaths since 2014 as possible homicides. Cornwell sent a letter yesterday to county coroners requesting those records.
This aggressive style prosecution will deter drug dealers. They will get the message.
Cornwell said his office can begin investigating once they receive the records.
We need those numbers to be able to attack the problem. You have to be able to define and understand the problem.
That's because Cornwell said they will provide more reliable data on overdose rates in general. Cornwell's office successfully prosecuted a similar case charging Raymond Ellis with criminally negligent homicide for selling drugs to a woman who died from an overdose in December 2014. Ellis pleaded guilty to the charge in March. He's serving 3 years in prison.
One defense attorney says it won't be that hard to go after dealers like Raymond Ellis. He says it's easy to charge someone with homicide after an overdose, but may be difficult to get those charges to end with a conviction.
Charging these things are not going to be hard. It's finding the evidence to support those charges. People are not likely to rat on their drug dealers, and drug dealers are not likely to rat on themselves and admit to these types of crimes. You're going to need lots of evidence. You're going to need good investigators who can interrogate and take statements from suspects, and you're going to need people that are willing to come out and say, I saw this guy do this and I did this with him, and that's going to be very difficult.
Grace says he expects cases will be prosecuted, but he does not expect the public defender's office to be backlogged with overdose death cases. Cornwell joins a growing number of prosecutors who are getting tougher on drug dealers by making them criminally responsible for the death of users. Criminal justice professor Kevin Wright says Cornwell's tactic does not work. Wright said history shows tougher penalties do not stop crime.
When we hear a legislator or a prosecutor tell us that they're going to get tough on crime, we always get behind that, even though, years and years and years of research has shown us that increasing severity does not have a major impact on the probability that a person will commit the crime.
Wright adds the high cost of investigating and prosecuting these kinds of cases means cuts would likely be made in other public services. Joined now by Mick Dwyer at the Spiedie Fest, as we mentioned before. And Mick, these have been going on for a while, and I hear you've been to every single one.
Yeah, wait a minute. First of all, I'm surprised they let me out of the studio.
How's it feel? We don't get out much.
The ankle braces are a little snug, you know what I'm talking about? You know, they weren't even going to let me in here. I'm so glad you got some pull.
And some great weather.
Yeah, too. But I'll tell you, you'll be going up in a balloon.
Hopefully.
And I'm not sure about the winds here. The pilot will be able to tell you more about that. But anything over 9-10 miles per hour could get a little dicey out there. Now earlier up aloft they were at 20 miles per hour. It's not so much taking off, it's the landing, so you'll have to hear from your pilot on that.
All right, well, the balloons may or may not be going up, but the Spiedies sure are sizzling already here for the start of one of Binghamton's most cherished traditions. The event began as a friendly competition between a few local families, each believing that they had the best Spiedie recipe. It's been over 30 years since, and that cook-off has now turned into a 3-day-long celebration.
Spiedie Fest for us is really like Christmas because you get all these people who come by and just have an awesome time, and it's either they're coming home, like it's their annual pilgrimage back to Binghamton, or it's they're trying it for the first time, they're bringing friends, they're spreading the good word of Spiedies.
One shot, do we have time to? We're not doing right now.
The festival continues its mission of bringing family entertainment and good food to the area with cooking competitions, concerts, and of course, the hot air balloon launch. Well, some four-legged citizens of our area now have plenty of room to roam. The Sherry A. Lindsay Park underwent an expansion with the help of a $15,000 grant from the Community Development Block Grant Funds. Improvements include jumps, hoops, and tunnels for agility training, as well as water fountains and landscaping. Mayor Rich David says the project is meant to encourage an active community.
City Hall is doing its part to promote recreation and support active community members, including our furry four-legged ones.
Chair members of the Bark Park say a facility that dog owners should take advantage of to socialize and exercise their pets. Well, police officers took to the roof today to raise money and awareness for a special cause. The 5th annual Cops on Top event took place at several local Dunkin' Donuts. The event was a fundraiser to benefit the Special Olympics. Athletes and law enforcement worked together to raise funds that will help send the athletes to competitions all year round.
It costs roughly $4,000 a year for each one of them to participate in the events that they go on. It goes on year-long, the competitions that they're involved in. And the athletes are not charged for the services, so it's all done through donations.
16 different Dunkin' Donuts locations participated in the fundraiser today. In national news, a Washington, D.C. transit police officer stands accused of supporting the terror group ISIS. He was arrested Wednesday, and today several of his neighbors open up about him. Sam Ford reports.
Neighbors say police and FBI moved into this neighborhood on Heron Ridge Drive after 6 this morning to the home of 36-year-old Nicholas Young, whom neighbors say lived here at least 9 years, was not friendly.
He was just a loner. You just kind of get that like creepy vibe off of him. You know, you'd walk by and generally your neighbors say hi. He would just stick to himself. He wouldn't say anything.
You ever speak to him? Or?
No, I never spoke to him.
Throughout the day, authorities came and went, some in ski masks to conceal their identity. According to charging documents, a number of those allegedly involved with Young, whom he thought were ISIS sympathizers, were actually undercover agents of the FBI. It is not clear if they ever visited his home. A neighbor said Young would be seen occasionally with another man outside working on his truck.
Yeah, I mean, I would just see him out sometimes, just out with his buddies. Sometimes they'd be working on his truck, but really nothing else.
This neighbor said after learning the allegations against Young,
I wasn't surprised because you kind of associate somebody being so closed off. You know, when you hear something like this happens or somebody could be connected to something like this, you don't get so surprised because they're so closed off.
Still to come on Fox 40 HD News live from Montenegro at 6. I'm just minutes away from hopefully my first balloon ride. We'll catch up with a ballooning pilot here live at the park. Stay with us. Joined now by Barry DeLibero, a pilot here for the Spiedie Fest and Balloon Rally. Barry, an exciting event for everybody here, the one weekend that we all get to see a lot of hot air balloon flying through the air. What's it like for you pilots to come here and be a part of this event?
You know, Jeremy, we love this. Coming here is a fantastic place. It's got good landing areas, it's got mountains, it's got rivers, it's got little developments to land in. It's fun, it's safe, it's very family oriented. Everybody loves coming here.
And in terms of the excitement from the community, do you get many festivals like this with this level of participation from people just coming out in droves to see the hot air balloons?
No, it's funny you say that. In most events around the country, you're stuck behind snow fence. This is one of the few, other than Albuquerque Balloon Fiesta in New Mexico, where you're actually allowed to be up close to the balloons. This is it.
And now things a little windy right now. Are we hopeful that, I know you just had your weather briefing, and I'm supposed to go up in a balloon in about 20 minutes or so. How's that looking?
Weather briefing hold right now. Very hopeful yet. We'll see what happens. There's a front that's passed through the area, so we're just going to have to watch and wait. As all ballooning is, want to be safe, make sure that people have safe flights.
And what are the ideal conditions for ballooning?
Less than 7 miles an hour wind on the ground. It can be faster up above, but when you're coming in for a landing, you want it to be, slower so you can get a spot. Remember, if you have to run across a field at 10 miles an hour, how fast you use up all that space, and we have to come over trees to get down to it.
And especially up here in the Northeast where the weather is sometimes unpredictable, how tough is it to find a day or an evening where the conditions are ideal?
Probably summertime, 50% of the time we get good flights off.
And the Spiedie Fest and Balloon Rally, I'm sure you've probably been here a few times from the sounds of it. What keeps bringing you back year after year?
The people. I love the place. It's full of energy. People love it. They're so excited to see it. It's not, show me something else, impress me with something else. They love it. They appreciate it. They love being here. And of course this year, Rick Springfield.
Of course. And your thoughts on Spiedies, the less balloon half of the festival?
Every year I get my fill of Spiedies. I get them every day until I leave.
Now do you switch it up? Lupo's one day, Salamita's the next? How's that work?
As a matter of fact, I do. I share all of them because they all have their pluses to them. I really enjoy all of them.
Chicken, pork, preference?
I'm a chicken guy. I love my chicken Spiedies.
Well, that's natural. I know lamb's the original, but chicken's really the heart and soul of the festival.
It really is. Love it, love it, love it. Flew Sam Lupo back in like 2004 here.
And now you'll have to stop by Sunday. I'll be cooking up in the Celebrity Spiedie contest. Maybe I have a future in Spiedie cooking. I guess you can.
Do you have your own secret Spiedie sauce?
It's marinating now, as a matter of fact. I won it last year with my Citrus Blast. This year, keeping the secret under wraps. You'll have to drop by and check it out.
You're going Spiedie jerk.
All right. Thank you very much, Barry. We'll be back to see if the weather will cooperate. Mix up next with your full forecast. Well, Mick, I still see blue skies.
Jeremy, I just want you to know you should know the color of the skies in my world.
I can only imagine how psychedelic that looks.
All right, you know what? I'm going to take out those pop-up showers. It's pretty nice out there. I'm just concerned about the wind, and the pilots of the balloons, they'll make that decision. Now, for tomorrow morning, they usually put the balloons up around 6 a.m., and showers are in the forecast. Along with the showers, we may get some thunder and lightning going on out there. But if we can wait till noon, it all clears up. And look at night, a starry night. By then, everyone will be left
And an
apart.
exciting day tomorrow for you. You get to hang out with Yolanda Vega.
That's right. Yeah, she's pretty well known in New York State. Huh?
Yeah. What time's 5 to 6:30, right? Right here at
we'll
Spiedie Fest at the Fox 40 tent. You can also introduce Mick. And then, of course, stop on by on Sunday. Dan North and I will be competing in the Celebrity Spiedie Cooking Contest. Mick, chicken or pork?
I'm going with lamb. Can we get that? That was the original Spiedie.
I have had turkey once. It was very interesting. Well, that's it for us here at 6. We'll be back with more news, weather, and sports tonight at 10.
Will you go on the Ferris wheel with me?
Of course.